G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, we are doing the Reptile update for December 2023. We're starting with the lizard room this week. Next week guys, we'll cover off the snake room. In 2024, see what happens regarding if these two rooms will be their own videos or we just combine back to them as one video. Anyway, let's jump straight into it. We might as well start over here with some little changes. So down here in this, I think it's 35 or 45 centimeter enclosure, we have Charcoal and Luna, who have been upgraded from a 30 by 30. So while he's out, little Charcoal is just hanging on his branch there. He's doing excellent. He's been smashing food, gaining more confidence since putting him in this enclosure. And his lovely girlfriend is just hanging off on the side of the glass here. She's done exceptionally well this year regarding to breeding. She had 2 clutches of eggs. Unfortunately, one clutch didn't quite make it, never hatched. Well, one clutch actually did hatch, and both babies are doing well. I won't show off the babies because they actually get really stressed out really quickly, so I'm going to leave them be. I might put up a photo of them later, see how we go. But both geckos are doing exceptionally well. In the enclosure, guys, we've got a heat pad underneath the enclosure. Got 3 hides in here from to choose from. Well, technically one of them is a nest box, but I decided to leave it in there as these just gives these guys an extra place to hide. And so Luna will know where the nest box is for next season, as she kept laying her eggs underneath the water bowl there. So their substrate is a bit of a mix of the coconut fibre and sand. Luna didn't seem quite comfortable laying in the box yet, so I just thought, bugger it, she can lay wherever she wants. I'll find the eggs when she lays. As well, there's a couple of branches in here from the climb up one at different thicknesses. It's been actually interesting watching these two climb on all of these. So it gives me a bit of enrichment there. Got a backing and then just a normal LED light to display the enclosure. Even though geckos don't really need it, I like to see these two out during the day. Charcoal you don't often see during the day, but Luna, she's always out and about, especially in this little area here where she is. Above them, even though this is mostly my lizard room, I do have a snake in here that I'm just raising up. This here is Valentino. He's doing well. He's honestly, guys, there's nothing to report on him. He's just been smashing food, growing at a good rate where in a few months I'll have to start looking for a bigger enclosure. But for now, he's in a 50 centimeter enclosure, so just shy of 2 feet. We've got his heat pad underneath his enclosure here. He's got his coconut hide, a couple of branches that he can climb up on. We might add something a little extra in there later, but right now it's working for him what he's got. Coconut fibre is a substrate, don't ever mention that. He's got his fake rock there that he can get under and on top of, whatever he wants to do. A water bowl in his backing. He shares a LED light strip with his neighbour Suzie, who is my sand simmer. I don't see much of Suzie these days, but I know she's still alive because I checked on her this morning. And when I put food in there, it disappears. Now, I didn't see her before. She'd be around here somewhere. She's a funny bugger to find. There's only like 2 to 3 inches of sand there, but that's all she needs to really, oh, there she is, burrow herself. Can't add any more sand because it has been cracking the glass just ever so slightly on the bottom. There she is. She just recently celebrated her 2nd birthday, so happy birthday to Suzie there. She's doing awesome. Very beautiful sand swimmer, I will say. And nothing too crazy to report on her. But in her enclosure, guys, we do have a coconut hide. There's a bit of bark in there and another hide she can go into. Water bowl. She's got a heat pad on this side of the enclosure and a backing. Put the lid back on so she can't jump back out. She's not really a handling animal, more or less just a display animal. So, when I do get her out, she bites and poos on me non-stop. So, that's fun. The actual animal we've got here is Crystal. Crystal here is my pygmy bearded dragon or black sword dragon, depending on what you guys want to call her species. She's doing exceptionally well, been smashing food, being a bit moody towards me lately. She doesn't like being touched or picked up. She's kind of always been like that, but there was a period of time she actually was okay with it. Yes, hello, beautiful. You want to come out, but no. By the way, guys, she's not gravid. She's just a very well-fed lizard, I will say. But yeah, she's doing well. She's housed in a 90 centimeter enclosure or 3-foot enclosure. In the enclosure, we've got a heat, the LED light strip from Get Your Pet Right, the UVB. Finding they're quite awesome little light strips, so thumbs up. Not being paid or sponsored, but I really like their product. Got a backing, couple ornaments for her to sit on, food bowl and water bowl. Now I do offer her a cave, even though dragons don't really use them. I did find this year in particular she was using it while she's brewmating, so I thought give her the option. And plus, if she doesn't want to be seen, she can duck away and do her thing. Across the way, we do have Dusty, and now I'm going to find where he went. He's going in his hide. Before we get to Dusty, guys, I'll show off his enclosure. So Dusty here is housed in a 140 centimeter enclosure, so just shy of 5 feet. In his enclosure, guys, we do have his heat, his UVB, his backing, a whole heap of branches in here for him to climb up on. Eventually, I want to redo this enclosure. I'm not just quite happy the way it is, but I'm going to look around, get some ideas, and eventually redo it all. He's got a couple of caves in there for him to hide into. He's got his food dish, his water dish, crocodile skull, and a fake plant, just to add a bit more to the enclosure, make it a bit more, I want to say natural, but more of a appealing look. And it's a very fine sand I have used for the animals that are on sand. If you use very coarse sand, it can cause problems. The only problems I have with it at the moment is when it gets into the tracks, and I've got to clean them out. So Dusty here is my black-headed monitor. Hey buddy, he makes a bit of a mess. So he's doing exceptionally well. He often is up there between the light bar and the top of the cage, but today he's in his hide. The very shy species, he doesn't like to be touched all that much. When I feed him, I'll have to leave the room before he does eat something. So he's... What are you doing, buddy? What do you want to do? You want to come out? See what I mean? He's not that comfortable with me. But saying that, it's good to see him out and about and not hiding constantly. So, yeah. If you are looking at getting a black-headed monitor, guys, or at least a very small species of goanna that's Australian, I do often find they're quite shy, other than the Yakis. So you got to work with them, be patient, and it'll come to you. Below him, we've got Echo, who is my female Eastern War Dragon. She's going through a bit of a shed phase at the moment, so you kind of see around her eyes, the tip of her snout, and just that bit there. It's freshly shed, so looking vibrant, but the rest of her body's still quite dark, so they'll just come off over time. Other than that, she's been a bit moody lately. She's usually a very attention-seeking little dragon, but lately she doesn't want to be near me, so that's fine. You get that with an animal. So in her enclosure, guys, coconut fibre as a substrate, got a hide, a couple of pieces of wood in there for her to bask on, a couple of branches and rocks in there too. The rocks in there are mostly for securing the branches into place, as well help her get in and out of a water bowl. Got a fake plant, got her heat and UV and a backing. So that's our precious little girl. Below her, we've got two Shinglebacks, Monty and Anastasia. These two lately have been very sleepy. They haven't been active at all. In October and kind of early November, they were very active, but last week or two, no. This is what they did. Find a spot and slept. So this one here by the front of the enclosure is Anastasia. She's our beautiful girl. And obviously that's the boy Monty, who is very shy. He's getting more accepting of getting patted and picked up. Anastasia, she's a sweetheart, no problem with her at all. So it's great to see these two actually bring the best out of each other. So yeah, in the enclosure, you've got the food bowl, water bowl, a log, a hide over here underneath the heat to keep them nice and warm over night time and keep them comfy. I won't say company, but just keep them comfortable. A couple of ramps in here to help get on top of the enclosure. Sorry, not the enclosure, the hide, as I did struggle without them, so popped them in there and it's helped out majorly. So that's one side of the room, guys. We'll pop over to the other side and finish off over there. To the other side of the room, guys, we're starting off with Pedro, who is my male pink tongue skink. Ever since putting him back in the 2 foot enclosure, he's done much better. He's gaining much more body mass. He's being more calmer. Beforehand, when I did this, he would try to bite me or cause me problems, but yeah, he's doing just fine. Yeah. Unfortunately, I got no lighting on the enclosure, so please bear with me. Put Pedro back in his little cave up there. That's his favourite little spot. Good boy, Pedro. So in his enclosure, guys, we've got his backing that he can go into with that incorporated cave in there. He's got a heat element, a couple of fake plants. He's got his branch, a couple of hides, his food bowl, water bowl, and his substrate. Nothing too special in his enclosure. I will try and get a lot in there on a later date, but at the moment he's been happier without it. Just put the lock back on for a moment so I don't lose him. You know what? He's only going to be 2 minutes. Now onto the last of the animals, which are just blue tongues now. We've got 3 eastern blue tongues and a blotched blue tongue to showcase. What I'll do is I'll show you off Bo's enclosure, as Bluey and Blaine's are quite similar. The only difference is Billy has a heat pad instead of a heat element like Bluey and Bo do. So in each enclosure, they've got a hide, got a couple of ramps in there for them to get on top of their hide, substrate, food bowl, water bowl, and a backing with the heat and UV. These enclosures are 120 centimeters or 4 feet. This one here who's just taking a nap was Bo. He's doing well, guys. He's a very calm, cool, collected fellow. Doesn't cause me any grief, and he doesn't mind coming out every now and again for cuddles. So he's a very good boy. Unlike his brother Bluey, who's just over here. Don't get me wrong, Bluey is very outgoing, very easy. He's very adventurous, this blue tongue. However, though, he does give me a bit of grief from time to time. But I still love him just as much as everyone else in the house. So he's doing well, guys. He's been eating, been very active for this time of year. As in Australia here, we are coming back into our summer months. So he's enjoying that bit of warmth. So do a quick pan of his enclosure. As you can see, pretty much the same to Bo. We'll pop down here to say hello to young Billy. Billy is the youngest of the 4, but she's had a bit more of a rougher beginning of her life. So, yeah, before we say hello, that's her enclosure there. Just a tad different, but pretty much very similar. Now I'm going to get her out. Got the tail, which is always, I guess, the good thing, because you don't want to grab an animal by its head, because that's no fun. She's getting quite chunky. Hello, Billy. How you doing, sweetheart? So, yeah, Billy's the other eastern blue tongue. When she was younger, she had a bit of a bad start to life. She had her hip bone, like she was very skinny to the point you can see her hip bones, half her tail missing. She's very sensitive around that area, and she wasn't doing all too well. Ever since we've brought her in, she's thrived. So it's great to see her like this, and she's going into a shed cycle because I can tell just along her belly there it's going all blue. So she's got to shed her skin probably the next week or 2. So I'm glad I filmed this before you destroyed your house. As when blue tongues shed their skin, it's 1,000 little pieces you got to clean up. So that's Billy. It's good to see her out and about, or still, at least know she's fine. She was just hiding because she was in shed. To the last little animal of the reptile room, this here is Blaine. Now Blaine here is my lowland blotched blue tongue. She's a bit different to the other guys, but still blue tongue. Hey sweetheart. She's usually quite shy and doesn't often really approach the camera, but today she's got a lot of confidence. And I can see you've been trying to go through your substrate again. Sometimes I do find her in the most random places in the enclosure, buried underneath her substrate. So I do apologise or excuse the way she looks. She's been trying to burrow herself again. She's a little runt, so she won't probably get any bigger than this. I bought her at the expo quite about 4 years ago now. Probably 5 years ago coming up to now. So she's doing well. She's housed in a small enclosure, so she's housed in a 3 foot or a 90 centimeter enclosure. In the enclosure, she's got 2 hides, as she's a very shy little thing. Got a food bowl, a water bowl, her heat and UV. So that's about it for her enclosure, and also backing as well. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in another video.